The point of this video is not necessarily to assert that the ancient peoples who carved these pictures out of rock and dirt knew something about astronomy, but that these ancient peoples perhaps might have known something about technology. Perhaps the so-called biblical war in the heavens was actually a war between political and scientific factions from a technologically advanced civilization, with the losing side of this intergalactic war being cast out and exiled to planet Earth in the Milky Way galaxy, both of which are pieces of spiral and spherical technology that the losing side helped engineer. But then they lost the war and found themselves exiled with not even the clothes on their backs and with most of their memories wiped clean, including their language and mathematical and writing skills, effectively setting them back a million years. But some of these hypothetical exiles perhaps still maintained fragments of memories that made such a powerful impression on them that they were pathologically obsessed with these spiral shapes that we see here, and that are mere images of these spiral technologies that we see here, which have been developed within the last 100 years, including radio coils and antennas and biosensors, like these lab-on-chip devices, spiral biosensors. Maybe the ancient people in part did this to remind themselves, to remind future generations where they came from, that the galaxies are technology. Considering all the crazy theories out there floating around about the theories of the universe, I don't think my theory of our cybernetic universe is too far-fetched. But I think the ancients were trying to send a message to future generations, perhaps. And this message is that the stars are technology, and we are a product of this technology. And now we are producing the same technologies that the stars are. Perhaps. These are but a few comparisons I included in no particular order, and we can see the similarities in these spiral biosensor technologies and antenna technologies and even particle accelerators that I included, otherwise known as atom smashers, all of which are mere images of these spiral glyphs. The ancient peoples were so obsessed with these spiral shapes that they often expended many years and even many generations of manpower and time and effort carving these shapes out of hard rock and dirt, in addition to passing on the designs of these shapes to future generations. Now this brings us to these ancient layered rock and clay spheres that the ancient peoples who made these things put a lot of time and effort into, and they weren't thinking of eggs or acorns or something like that when they were making these things. These ancient spheres are structured exactly like the planets with their cores and their layers, in addition to being structured like these spherical laboratory on chip technologies, as well as inverted spherical antennas. The clay spheres and rock spheres are also structured like cells, internally, externally, with their spherical shapes and nuclei, in a comparison that includes the shape of atoms, which are mere images of these spherical artifacts, as is the overall structure of the universe, which is supposedly layered like an onion, just like these spherical artifacts. I think we might live in a multiverse, and each and every universe is a laboratory on a chip, and that's not even half of it. We might be the descendants of ancient engineers, scientists, and astronauts who rebelled against the chief engineers or chief engineer. Here are some other glyphs and artifacts to help place things in perspective, including glyphs of what appear to be aliens and flying saucers and other aircraft, plus some tools and devices that are embedded in rock, meaning that they are at least 1,000,000 years old and were supposedly made long before humans evolved into their present form. I am going to conclude this video by saying I have other videos out there, and I included some links at the end of this. And if you like this video, give it the thumbs up, and don't be afraid to subscribe and leave questions and comments.